Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by a dense, dark forest, there lived a brave and curious 10-year-old named Mia. The forest was called the Whispering Woods, and it was said that anyone who entered after sunset would never return. The villagers warned their children to stay away, but Mia was different. She loved adventures and couldn't resist the mystery of the woods. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Mia's little brother, Tommy, ran into the forest chasing his runaway kite. Mia's heart raced. She knew she had to save him before the woods came alive with whatever secrets it hid. Grabbing her flashlight, she dashed into the trees, the shadows growing longer with every step. The forest was eerily quiet, except for the faint sound of whispers carried by the wind. Mia called out for Tommy, but her voice seemed to disappear into the darkness. The trees loomed taller, their branches twisting like bony fingers. Suddenly, she heard a giggle. Tommy's giggle, but it sounded far away and, different. "Tommy!" she shouted again, her flashlight beam darting through the trees. She followed the sound until she reached a clearing. In the center stood an old, gnarled tree with a hollow trunk. Tommy's kite was stuck in its branches, but there was no sign of her brother. "Mia," a soft voice called from the hollow. It sounded like Tommy, but it was faint and echoey. Mia's stomach churned as she stepped closer. She shone her flashlight into the hollow and gasped. Inside, she saw a pair of glowing green eyes staring back at her. "Mia, come play with us," the voice whispered, but it wasn't Tommy's anymore. It was deeper, colder. The eyes blinked, and suddenly the hollow seemed to stretch deeper, pulling her in. Mia stumbled back, her heart pounding. "Tommy, where are you?" she cried, tears welling in her eyes. Just then, she heard rustling behind her. She spun around, and there he was, Tommy standing at the edge of the clearing, holding his kite. But something was wrong. His eyes were glowing green, just like the ones in the tree. "Tommy?" Mia whispered, her voice trembling. "I found new friends, Mia," Tommy said, smiling too wide. "They want you to stay too." Mia's flashlight flickered, and the whispers grew louder, surrounding her. She realized the forest wasn't just alive, it was hungry. It wanted her to stay forever, just like it had taken others before her. Summoning all her courage, Mia grabbed Tommy's hand and yanked him away from the clearing. "We're leaving now!" she shouted. The forest seemed to howl in anger as they ran, the trees twisting to block their path. But Mia didn't stop. She held tight to Tommy's hand, dodging branches and leaping over roots until they burst out of the woods and into the safety of the village. The moment they crossed the tree line, Tommy's eyes returned to normal, and he blinked up at Mia, confused. "What happened?" he asked. Mia hugged him tightly, her heart still racing. "Nothing," she said. "But we're never going back into those woods again." From that day on, Mia and Tommy stayed far away from the Whispering Woods. But sometimes, on quiet nights, Mia would hear faint whispers carried by the wind, calling her name, begging her to come back and play.